Hey guys, welcome to my first backtesting with me session on my YouTube channel. I just want to do it raw, very simple, very straightforward. What I'll do basically is to backtest my specific pair, which is AU, in a different specific date. So I want to do 2 months, right? And what I'll do is basically with the random date generator, just select a random date, and from that date, just take 2 months and do the backtesting session in a platform that is called Forex Replay. So yeah, you'll be able to watch how I trade, my analysis, and basically observe how we perform in those 2 months and see the win rate, see our problems, our issues, and basically be able to see our wins, our losses, and our mistakes, as well as our good results. Okay, so what I'll do is, so I'll go here and randomly select a date, right? So I don't know if you guys are watching this. Well, I'm gonna basically select a date that it's not too far away, so a year that it's not too far away. So let's select maximum, let's say 2020. So from January 2020, so the 1st of January 2020, actually the 1st of January 2022, to not make it very far away, and to make the date of today, which is basically the 3rd of June, so June 3rd of 2024. There you go. And basically number of dates, I just want one output format like this. So now let's see what random date we have. So okay, so it's gonna be from December 18 of 2022 till February 18, 2022. So let's select here. So I want to make it an account balance of 100k, just to make it even more simple. Now let's look for my pair, and so it's gonna be, so December, it was, so January, no, it was December 18, 2022. So December 18, 2022. So here, December 18th, 2022, and the end date will be 2 months after. So let's press here. It's gonna be 2023. It's gonna be February 18th. So with that, we basically have 2 months. So from December 18th, 2022 to February 18th, 2023. So the strategy, that doesn't matter, name, my description, let's put Rosal backtesting testing session, and small candles, yes. So Forex Replay is a very nice backtesting platform where you can basically go far, like even more far away than TradingView. Usually TradingView, you just can't watch, for example, 1 minute candles if it's too far away from time. So yeah, this app or platform you can, so that's why I like it. So yeah, we have this. So now let's move on to the backtesting area. I'm gonna do some adjustments to this, because usually I like to, for example, if I place this, I like to put like break of structure or something like that, and there's no template or anything, so I'm just gonna update that very quick. Okay guys, so I'm back. So now I have all my templates. So if we can see, for example, let's say that I do a line here, so I have all my templates. So if I have a break of structure to the upside, so there you have, or if I have a break of structure to the downside, or if I have, for example, liquidity high or liquidity low, or if price do like a swept or something like that, I have those. So now we are ready to go. Next important thing is to understand that I only trade New York session. So if we can see here, UTC, I trade New York time. So we basically press here, so New York time, and that's basically updated to New York times. So now I have this adjusted already as well, that I basically press that instead of just doing like this the whole time, if we just go to here and press like New York session, it just directly gets us to New York open. So let's start by doing this, understanding that it's basically 9 p.m. so no trades so far. So there you go. So now we are at the beginning of our session. So basically the backtesting begins here. So let's see. So usually what I do first is check the daily to see how we are. So let's see. Basically price have recently, we were bearish, then price reached this point, we took liquidity from here, we recently broke structure. No, not yet, but we broke this structure here, and this, in my opinion, there's actually liquidity below these lows. So I'm actually biased right now towards selling, understanding that there's a big fair value gap in this point. So that's for the daily. Let's see in the 4-hour. 4-hour we can see some consolidation around here, so I could consider this liquidity. So understanding that price took this high here, so it took liquidity from this high. So it took liquidity from this high, and then it broke structure to the downside. So there's a break of structure. I would like maybe to see some reversals to areas around this area. So there's actually not too much to see around here. So basically we are on Monday, so Sunday's low was here. This one we took it. Then Friday's low was this. This was Friday's low. And where's Friday's high? Let's see Friday's high. So basically Friday's high, let's see it in the 1 hour. Friday's high, it's around this area. So this is Friday's high, this one. So we recently took Friday's high, and then it reversed, respecting this demand zone. But I would like honestly to see if maybe price is able to take Friday's low, and then maybe look for some buying opportunities towards areas such as this, or if we just see some impulse to the upside, so there's still no trades for me or any opportunities, based on the fact that, well, if we can see this was Thursday's low and Friday took it, then it broke structure, this was valid demand, then another demand zone taking liquidity from here. So it's respecting here, yeah, there's basically no trade so far. So I would like maybe to see if price, what it does. Yeah, so we can see my session was over. It was a very slow session. So now let's skip to the next day, see what happened. So price is basically moving towards taking this liquidity below these lows here, which is very nice. And now we have to understand that price took Friday's low. It did a reversion, but now price is like it rejected basically from this supply zone here. So basically we honestly don't have too much to do in our session right now. So it's 8 a.m. There was no clear break of structure to the upside, so it's just the price is doing a continuation in this area, but there's actually not too many opportunities for us. Maybe if we want to target, we could target this, but it's not a very nice setup and it's not in our confluences, so let's just skip to see what price does. So that's the end of our session. No trade so far. Let's move forward. So price is honestly going up very slow now, understanding that it took liquidity from here. So we can see that when price basically took liquidity from this low, it rejected and price wasn't able to close with body. So if we go maybe to the daily, there you go, we can see that price is basically taking liquidity from Friday's low. So I'm bullish for now, and I maybe would like to see if price takes this high here as liquidity. Let's see if there's maybe some buying opportunities, but honestly, in my opinion, this is also liquidity. I don't like this wick, but on our strategy, let's see if there's maybe something. Okay, so after analyzing, we can see that this was Tuesday's high. So this two, and they are basically equal highs. So maybe a possibility will be for price to take out this Tuesday's equal highs, that it was also Tuesday's high, and maybe look for some selling opportunities in our session. So let's see if that maybe happens. Let's see if price actually rejects. So let me see. There's not a clear break of structure yet. We're actually high impact news at 10, and price is still respecting a bullish trend. So yeah, our session is over now, so no trade so far. The market is very choppy, to be honest. There's not too many opportunities. Okay, so our bias actually worked out, so price was able to take this. So now we're sitting, let me see, there's still a huge gap, and price is still like it reached basically a 50%. Now it's located in a fair value gap, and understanding that price was able to take this high here. So we can see that price took this high here. So this is basically a liquidity grab, and there's some liquidity below here. I will maybe like to see if price is able to give us in our session a reversal and maybe sell. So after took this liquidity, we can see that price left us this supply zone. Let's see, price is still in a premium area, so I wouldn't look for buying opportunities yet. So let's see. So this is basically it. You go, we can see that price after breaking structure, the entry happened already. We can still look for a continuation. So the entry, actually the nice entry happened at 4. So we can see the break of structure, then the reversal to the 60%, and then selling. But let's see if price is able to give us a continuation move towards zones like this one, but I'll need a confirmation. So let's see what happens. Let's see, also analyze maybe some zones where price could reject. So price rejected from this fair value gap here, then went up, and now this is also a fair value gap. Maybe we could see if price is able to reject from there or from this demand zone and continue going up, that I would like for price to fill out this gap here, right? Oh, let's see what happens. Let's see if price, okay, so price reached this zone, and there were actually news. It looks like news because of the momentum, and yeah, it's 8:30. So now let's see if price give us a reversion, understanding that we were bullish. I would like to see maybe a break of structure. Yeah, no, price continue going down. So we can see this was a beautiful trade, but it happened at 4 a.m. That's fine. What time is it? So it's 9. There's still some opportunities, or still some time. See how the 4 hour looks. So we can see that there, let's erase this, that it's a little bit messy. Yeah, so we can see that price after taking liquidity from here, right, it left a supply zone in this area. But also if we go to the 1 hour, there's this zone here that is interesting, and we could consider this as previous liquidity to our demand zone, right? So I would like maybe to see if price is able to reject from here, because I would like to see a bigger discount for price to maybe reject from areas like this and continue maybe selling. But yeah, let's see if price actually rejects from this zone and we're able to position ourselves in some selling opportunities. So price already took this liquidity. Let's now wait to see if there's maybe a break of structure. Let's see, 10:20. So 11, so no trades for me for this session. Now let's move to the next session. Okay, so price Actually, price, you can see this is a sign of liquidity. Honestly, I think this is full liquidity because there was no movement like or momentum to the upside after rejecting from here and after taking liquidity. So I would like for price after taking this high here, it left a fair value gap in this area. That price is already sitting at that fair value gap. So I will really would like to see if price is maybe able to reach this supply zone, and then I will look for some selling confirmations. But still, it's very likely that maybe price is able to break structure to the downside and we could position ourselves in some selling opportunities, understanding that price is sitting at this fair value gap in the 15. So let's see what happens. Let's erase this here as well as this. So let's see if there's a break of structure, like a nice break of structure, because it's, you can see, so low, high, higher low, so still respecting an uptrend. So let's see if there's break of structure. So there you go, there's the break of structure. So I would like for price to reject to this point. I would like to see if price, it said that overloaded, I don't know, something of my computer, but well, yeah. So I would like to see if price is able to retrace and respects maybe the supply zone. So let's see if that actually happens. This happened on news 8:30 a.m. Let's see. Now let's move forward. Oh, there were high impact news. Yeah, no, there were too many news, no confirmations for us. It retraced from here, but we're still biased for price to take this, like reject from here and then go to the downside. That's my bias. So maybe I would like for price to, understanding that, let's see, so we took, so we took Thursday's high in here. So now I'm expecting a movement to the downside, but I don't like this candle, so I would like to see maybe some confirmations to see how price rejects from this area. So let's see. Okay, so there's some rejection. It's in the 1 minute. Yeah, so I will place my entry. What time is it? 8:54. Place my entry this way. My stop loss like this, targeting this as my target. Let's see, where could I target? Like there's a lot of liquidity, but I would like maybe to see if price is able to go lower, but this will be where I will close. So let's see if price actually activates my entry. So I'm gonna put my entry here, so place order 1%, and I'm gonna enter in a limit order. So there we have. Let's see if price activates my order. No, so price left me. That's very sad, but yeah, it's all good. We delete our order because the whole movement was done. So yeah, let's move on to the next session. Let's erase all this. So yeah, now, so price have been going down, right? But price is still located in a fair value gap. And we can see that price recently took this Friday's high. So this is currently Monday. Price took this Friday's high. Let's see if there was a break of structure. What a horrible price action. Wow, this is horrible. This looks maybe like bank holiday or something. Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, I would like to see price moving down now. Yeah, no, horrible price action. So that's a no trading day. Let's move on to the next one. You guys saw the candles, right? Horrible. So yeah, now, so we can see that price is still located in this fair value gap in the daily. So I'm still biased for some sales. And we can see how price rejected after taking this high. So if we can see, price took this high here, right? And we're sitting at this fair value gap that price recently rejected. And let's see if there was a break of structure. Yeah, there was. This was the break of structure. So now I would like for price to reverse and give me my entry around this area. So this is here, 8. So I would like for price to reach this area, and this will be my entry where I will target. So I will target, this is the last high, this one. Let's see this. So I would like to target this low. This will be my target. But it's very probable for price to reject from this demand zone. That was the last demand zone, right? That's also likely to happen. So I will maybe see if price, when price reaches this point, to see how it reacts and to see if maybe there are some buying opportunities. So let's first place the order. There you go. Now let's move forward, see what happens. So price reached this. Okay, so price reached my entry. Let's see. So this is when I usually look price like this, I usually take like swing trades, which are like longer than I usually do. But yeah, so when price breaks this low here, I'll move my stop loss to break even and wait for price to reach my final TP. Let's see. So there you go. So I now move my stop loss to break even to this point, and then I just wait to see if price is able to reach my TP or not. See, so break even, right? Like I told you guys. But yeah, it's completely fine. Also, it was a very long trade. You can see there was not too much momentum. But yeah, so first trade, break even. What a slow month, to be honest. I usually take not too many trades, but still. So now let's move to the next day. This is the next day. Let's see. We're now reaching this supply zone in the daily. Price is now very bullish, and we can see that price took liquidity from all these highs, broke structure, then respected this, broke structure again, respected this demand zone, broke structure again. So this is basically the last point that we recently took this. So let's see what happens. Price is very bullish, so I would like maybe to see a retracement to some areas around the 60% or the 50%. So I'm not looking for buying now. Let's see. So where was Tuesday? So this was Tuesday's high. We recently took it, right? So now we have a break of structure. There we have a break of structure. So now I expect a discount towards the 60% to look for some selling opportunities here with my stop loss around this area, targeting this area. Target this area here. These are some of my favorite trades. They are very risky, but when they work out very, very nice. So let's see if this one actually works. So I reached my entry. So now I move my stop loss to break even because price took this low here. Now let's see. What a nice trade. What did I tell you guys? It's when this one's worked out, it's very nice. So basically, quick explanation, price was very bullish throughout these days. Price was very close to reject from a supply zone in the daily. It was also located in a fair value gap in this area in the 4-hour. We also took, let me erase this. We also took liquidity from the high of the day before. So on Tuesday, we took liquidity, and then there was a break of structure in the 15 as well as in the 5-minute. We can see the break of structure in the 5-minute here, which is very nice. Let me erase this. So this was the break of structure. Then a retracement, 60% my entry point, my stop loss at this point. Then target an area which is around the 60%. So around the 60%. That's basically the trade. Okay guys, so I'll leave this exactly as it is. I'm not gonna touch it, and I'll be back in a sec that I'll get some food, just relax for a bit. That I've been recording 30 minutes straight and my voice starts like cracking, but yeah, I'll be back in around 20-30 minutes after I eat something, and I'll just relax for a bit. Okay guys, so we're back. So I left this like this in a winning trade. So now let's move on to the next day. Let me erase this. So let's move on to the next day. Let me erase everything. So yeah, so let's see what happens. What I was eating was basically thinking that analyzing that I'm actually trading in Q4, so it's usually the most difficult period of the year, and I will start now trading January, which is basically holiday, and at least the first 2 weeks of January there's usually no momentum, but yeah, the way we'll see how our strategy plays out. So okay, so we're in this point here. Let's see what happens. So we understand the price. Yeah, I like this gap here. So price recently rejected from this fair value gap here. Then we can see that price took liquidity from all these highs here. So all these highs were taken by this high here, and then we saw a break of structure, right? So what I would like to see is, so we can see this is Thursday, this is Tuesday, so this was Tuesday's low. So we can see that price recently reached Tuesday's low, so now we can see maybe some reversion to the upside. And this was Wednesday's high, and this one's Wednesday's low. So price also took Wednesday's low at this point here. So now we could maybe see some rejections to the upside, maybe looking to see if price is able to reach this gap here, considering this as liquidity, right? That would be honestly very nice to see, understanding that you can see how the 4-hour candle is closing. So now let's see if there's a retracement to the upside and maybe look for some buying opportunities. So let's go to the 15. This is basically the nearest high that I would like for price to break, at least in the 15. So there you go. So price broke structure there. We can see that this was the first break of structure, and price kind of rejected from here and then it went up. Now I would like to see if price is able to respect my bias, which is to consider this as liquidity, and then maybe give me a retracement to position myself in some buying opportunities. So let's see. So price continue going up. This is an interesting point here, but like I said, I could maybe consider this as liquidity. So my bias is for price to reach this fair value gap. Let's see what happens. There you go. Basically did exactly what I was looking for. So now we are in a very interesting point. So we are reaching this fair value gap that I expect for price to basically reach this point and then go lower. So let's see. So price didn't take this high, so you can see. So I still consider this liquidity. Price might want to just do a small breathe, maybe reject from this demand and continue going up. That could be very likely to happen. There you go. So either way, now our session is basically over. Now price was able to reach this, and now we can see some movement to the downsides, but it might happen now in like outside our session. So now let's move on to the next day. Let's see. Here you go. Oh, so price continue going up, completely fine. So we can see price was able to take this low here, then now it broke structure, but now price is taking liquidity from this high here. What day is it? So it's Friday 30th, basically the day before of the last day of the year. So I would like to see, understanding that we are still in a fair value gap, right? But price is completely bullish, to be honest. I would like to see if there's maybe a possibility where price is able to break this low here and for us to look for some sales. Understanding that, in my opinion, this is liquidity sitting below these lows, right? So I would like to see maybe a bigger discount to some areas such as this one, right? The 60 taking this low, so this will be my target 100%. So now I'll just have to wait to see if there's actually a break of structure. You can see that there's still no break of structure. This will be the first break of structure. Let's move forward. So there you have. So now I will wait for price to, let me basically erase this as well as this. So I will place my entry in the 60% with my stop loss around this area, and my target will be this low here. It's very big. I usually don't target that much, so I will target this first low here for a 1 to 2.72. So let's place the order and let's see if it gets activated in our session. So what time is it? It's 8:20. Let's see what happens. So now this changed a little bit. So now my entry point will be in this point, right? So now I can target a little bit longer. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that was my bad. I didn't move this. Bad. So let me basically go down like here. There you go. So basically my entry point was in the 60%. Here is that I forgot to move my entry level and it got activated. So I want to be fair with myself, and this was my stop loss in this point and my target this point here. So let's move this here. So there you have. This will be basically the entry, right? Understanding that we broke structure, so let's basically see. Let's see what happens. We got activated. It almost reached our stop loss, but that's why I give breathing room. And now I move my stop loss to break even, and I just wait for price to fully develops. Let's change this, that it changed when I updated, so it's 10 still. So now my stop loss is in break even. There you go, final TP. So it was a, let's see real quick. So it was a 1 to 2.19 risk reward, very nice trade. and let's see if actually it reaches to my final TP, which was this, but it was kind of long for me. Let's see if it reaches. No. So imagine that if we would have held to this point, it was basically a break-even trade, but yeah, we target well. So now let's move to the next day. Let's erase this here. So now we are in the 2nd of January. So Monday, January 2nd, sorry. So let's see how we are looking at. So we can see that price is very, very bullish, respecting every single zone. Also this gap here, it was filled and now it's still going up. So we might see a decrease in liquidity based on the fact that it's the beginning of January. So it's basically holidays. So yeah, let's see what happens. So this was basically last candle here that respected that. So I'm bullish based on the fact that we are respecting this, but we are also in a 4-hour supply zone. At this point, we took this high here. Let me see what was the last high. So this was Friday's high in this area. This was Friday's high. Where's Friday's low? So this was Friday's low. So we can see that we're still in a range. There's nothing right now. So I would like to see if price is able to manipulate Friday's high and maybe look for some selling opportunities based on the fact that we are holding a supply zone. But if that doesn't happen, there's nothing for me. You guys can see the difference. So this is a nice price action, and you guys can see there's basically no liquidity because it's basically a holiday. But yeah, I'm still doing this. In my case, I wouldn't be trading this. So, but still, let's basically see what happens. So I would like to wait, like I said, to see if price is able to reach that or if it consolidates. Yeah, so we can see a horrible consolidation. So now let's move to the next day. Okay, so basically price did what I told you guys. So it manipulated, like it did this consolidation, manipulation of Friday's high, and then it broke structure to the downside. So now we have some momentum respecting this 4-hour supply. So let's erase this real quick. So we can see that price rejected. It was also a daily supply zone, and then it basically did a break of structure too. So here, right, as well as here. But price is basically weakening from this low here, and we also have that it is a discounted area of around the 60% of this zone, so price might reject. So understanding that price took this Thursday's low, right, which is this one, and let's see. Yeah, so this was Monday's. Where's Monday's low? Let me see. Yeah, so this was Monday's low, so it also took this Monday's low, right? So the break of structure, there's two possible scenarios. The price just continues going down, or we might see some reversions, understanding that price is holding or locating in 60% of this whole range. That basically is from this low to this high here. So let's see. I will need to see a very clear break of structure breaking this high here, right? So let's see what happens. So it looks like it's gonna do a break of structure. So that's the break of structure there. What time is it? So it's 8 a.m. New York time. It's fine. Let's see how it looks in the 4-hour. We can see that price literally took liquidity from here. So now I will be expecting to maybe, so this is a fair value gap. I would like to see that price is able to give a discount and then look for some buying opportunities. Where exactly? So I would like to understand that price already took this, so I would like maybe to see some reversion to this point, to this area, a little bit lower this. So I will place my entry in this gap here with my stop loss around this point, and what will be my target? So my target will be in this like in this gap here, around this area, 1 to 2, right? That will be my target. Understanding that we also took liquidity from here, and we also broke structure. Oh, it's already marked up. So this was a break of structure. So this will be basically my entry. So let's see what happens. See, we have a retracement. Nope, there was no retracement. Our bias was correct, but there was literally no retracement, almost. But yeah, and then yeah, so I already removed my order because it reached my target. So now I will be biased for some selling opportunities. It's 9:30 a.m. still, so it's still valid, and we are in a big fair value gap, but I don't really like how price rejected from the 4 hours, so I might be very bullish to consider that price might take this or maybe reject from this supply zone following order flow. So it rejected from this supply zone, then it might respect this supply zone as well. So basically, let's see. Let's erase this, see what happens. Move forward. Okay, so price rejected from this zone, right? If we see the movement of my idea was done already, but price is still retracing, so it's honestly still valid based on the fact that if we see, I would like for price to go a little bit higher. So it's likely for price to reject from this fair value gap that we have here in the 1 hour. Let's erase this. So this is a fair value gap. Let's also erase this real quick. This is a fair value gap. So honestly, I will place basically an entry at this point. My stop loss around this area, targeting somewhere around this. I'll put it a little bit smaller, like this, and that will be basically the trade. It's 10, so I trade until 11. So if it doesn't get activated, it's fine. So let's basically see what happens. Price could also reject from this demand zone, but yeah, let's see what happens. Move forward. What time is it? 10:50. Yeah, 11. So I delete my trade. Price didn't activate my trade, so it's completely fine. So now let's move to the next day. Well, it's all good. We can see that price basically reached my entry at 1 p.m. New York time. I don't trade at 1 p.m. New York time, but my bias was correct. Very nice. So yeah, let's erase this. So let's see what happens here. So we're in the next day. Honestly thinking the video is gonna be quite long, so I'm gonna only do backtesting for 1 month. So I'll be done in the 18th. So for a complete month, so December 18th to January 18th. Simple, clear, perfect. So let's see how we are here. So price continue going up, respecting a bullish trend. So now we're very close for price to reach this high here that I very confident that it will reach. So I would like maybe to see if there's, so this was, let's see in the 1 hour. So this was, so this is, so we're in Wednesday, right? Where it was Tuesdays. So this was Tuesday's high here. Oh no, this was Tuesday's high. This one here, yeah. So this was Tuesday's high. So price took Tuesday's high in here, right? As well as Monday's high, which is this one. It was very close. The one from the other So understanding that we are almost getting here, we could see some retracement for price to reject from some areas like this to continue to the upside. Let's see if there's maybe an opportunity for us. So we have here an interesting zone that price might reject from. So from this one here, right? So honestly, I will wait better for price to reach this zone and look for some buying opportunities. I'm not considering this too valid because I'm biased for price to reach this high here. So I'm just going to wait for price to reject from some areas around this zone and then look for buying opportunities. It might work, so that will be my entry, right? Yeah. But let's see. It worked, right? It worked nice. But now price reached my entry or my zone basically. So I'm honestly looking to see if there's maybe, we can see this for value gap, if there's maybe a confirmation for me to take some trades to the upside. So let's see. I need to see a break of structure. There's no break of structure yet, and my session is over. So now let's move to the next day. So I continue going down, but I'm still biased for price to take this high here. This is liquidity in my opinion. Price just might want to go a little bit lower, like a bigger breathing room, like a bigger discount basically, and then look for buying opportunities. So if we see, yeah, we're still in a premium zone, but I'm still very biased. Price filled this whole gap here, we can see, and it rejected from that gap. And it was also a demand zone in the 1 hour. So now I'm looking for buying opportunities. Let's see, where's yesterday's low? So this was yesterday's low. Let's see if price was able to, yeah, what a nice scenario. So price, it's very minimum, but price took liquidity from yesterday's low, so from Wednesday's low. Now it's Thursday, and after doing that, we had a break of structure in this area, right? This was the break of structure. Price kind of rejected from this zone, but instead of doing a lower low, it rejected like from this low here, taking liquidity, and then we had a nicer break of structure in this area. So now what I'm looking is to see if we have a discount to the 60%, position myself in some buying opportunities. So I'm gonna place this like this, and I would like to see if price is able, let me see where it could go. I would like to consider all of this liquidity, and I will target this gap here that we have here. So will be my target. That will be my target for a 1 to 2.56. So let's see if our entry gets activated. I'm gonna place it here. Let's see. So it's 8 a.m. New York time. Let's move forward. So it got activated. Oh, the thing is that, yeah, it's a perfect trade. Valid stop loss because price reached our zone. Honestly, I don't know if there's news this day, but still, let's consider it a stop loss. It's fine, it's all good. This might be maybe like this candle, because at 8:30 it might be news, high impact news. I don't know. If that was the case, I wouldn't enter this trade. But let's hypothetically say that there was no news, so it's fine. Let's take that stop loss, part of the game. Let's move on to the next day. Price continue going up, going down, sorry. So now let's see what happens. It's incredible that price wasn't able to break this liquidity here. still, now it's a little bit farther, but I'm still biased for that. But I'm gonna open my mind to other possibilities as well, because that's possible. So we can see that price now, it's in this area. So it was an interesting area. That price took liquidity from this low here, right? And we broke structure to the upside. So now we have the discount. It's also a 4-hour demand. And it's a 1-hour demand, a small 1-hour demand. And there's also some gaps here to be filled. So I will honestly like to see if maybe price is able to break structure to the upside. I would like to see a break of structure of this high here to consider a valid point, but there's also fair value gap in here that is actually already filled. It was filled here, sorry, it was already filled by this candle here. So price could continue going down, right? Let's see, where's the yesterday's low? So this was Thursday. So this was yesterday's low. So Thursday's low. Price recently took Thursday's low, and now it's holding a demand zone. So I'm biased towards buying opportunities because price took Thursday's low here, which is this one, and it's holding a demand zone in the 1-hour and also in the 4-hour. And there's some gaps here. So I would like to consider this as a target. So now I'm basically waiting to see if there's maybe a break of structure in the 5-minute to position myself in some buying opportunities. So let's see what happens. But there's a lot of structures here that price might respect. So we have a supply zone here, also here, but yeah, it's valid. It's also following my plan. That price took liquidity from Thursday's low here. So let's see. My back is hurting so much. Let's see what happens. So that's the break of structure. So I will buy in this demand zone here. What time is it? 8:10. Is it? Oh, it might be NFP. It might be NFP. Is it? I don't know. I don't remember. Let's look this up really quick. So we are in Friday. Is that, I don't know if the last Friday was actually in the week. Let's see. So Friday 6. So 20. It's 2020 what? 2023. So see real quick. January 2023. And it's 6. Oh yeah, it's gonna be NFP. Yeah, it's NFP. There's no trade, guys. No trade. Simple as that. You guys can see what's gonna happen. Look, my bias was correct, but it was NFP, so it's all good. Now let's move on to the next day. Okay, so price was able to finally take this liquidity as I was planning for. So let's erase this real quick. So it's basically, this is our session. I'm gonna stretch for a second and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're back here. So we are on Monday, January 9th. And so let's see basically what happens. So we can see the price. So we were bullish, right? And now we were able to surpass this highs here that, as I told you guys, this was basically considered this as liquidity, right? Oh, as liquidity here, right? So now basically we took all this high here, this highs here as well. So now it's very likely that price might want to reverse, give us a small reversion. So basically let's see what happens. There's honestly not too much to look at right now because we are very bullish. If we see, we are also in a premium zone, so I would like to see maybe some discounts towards some areas around this zone where there's also a fair value gap and everything. So yeah, the thing is that based on the fact that we are very bullish, I would like to see a very clear breakout structure for me to consider some selling opportunities. So if we see, we are on Monday, right? We also took Friday's high in here, and Sunday took it, right? And this was where Sundays, so this was Sunday's high. We also took Sunday's high, and then we broke structure. We can see that this was the breakout structure, right? So this was the breakout structure. So now price is basically reversing. It's basically holding this supply zone here. Like I said, it's very iffy based on the fact that we are very bullish, right? So now I would like to see maybe if price is able to give us a proper breakout structure in the 5 minute, or if maybe price is able to reject from this supply zone. So let's see what happens. So I continue going up. So let's see how it looks in the 15. So price basically took liquidity from this high here. So I will need to see, and also very crucial to identify, it looks like there's liquidity in here, because we can see that this pretty much looks like two equal lows, which is a sign of liquidity. So I would like maybe to see if price is able to give us a proper breakout structure to the downside and be able to position ourselves in some selling opportunities. But this, at the moment, this is the closest breakout structure. And because like this was, so let me see, this was Friday's, this was Sunday's low, this one here, this is basically the low of London, right? This is London's low. The price took liquidity from London's low, and then it basically went up. Yeah, there's basically no clear confirmations. I would need to see maybe if price is able to break this low to the downside, and maybe look if we have some selling opportunities. But the market is not very clear right now. Yeah, so 950, I respected. Let's see. Okay, so now this is way more interesting. So we can see that price took liquidity from this high here, right? So from the beginning of Monday, and also it took liquidity from all these highs. So now I'm definitely looking to see if there's a clear breakout structure to the downside to position myself in some selling opportunities. There's nothing yet. I'll need to see a breakout structure of this low. But basically our session is going to be over now. So yeah, 11:15. So our session is over. No trades for today. Now let's go to the next day. Okay, so we can see that basically what we were looking happened, but it happened later. So let's see. So this was actually the breakout structure we were waiting for, right? Remember? Oh no, it was actually, let me see. It was actually, after taking this, it was this low that we were waiting. This low. And then price reversed and rejected from this fair value gap. That was basically our entry. Something like this. But at what time it happened? It happened at 1 p.m. New York time, and we were not trading, so it's fine. So let's erase this. So yeah. We are now on this day here, which is Tuesday, January 10th. So let's basically see how everything looks in the daily. So price is basically going down. Now it's located in a fair value gap, this area, so price might reject to the upside, but we have to consider that price took liquidity from all these highs here, as well as this high. So we might see a bigger reversal. What happened here? Okay, no idea what happened. Let's change this again to New York. Yeah, so let's go back again. So we had a fair value gap here, right? but we have to understand that price took liquidity from this highs here. So we might see a bigger retracement, maybe to some areas around the 50 or 60%, because considering this last range, we are in a premium zone. So understanding that, let me erase this and just put this one here. So I would like to see how price rejects from here, but we can see that there's also a huge gap in this area. So I honestly prefer this gap over this gap here. Let's see. So price took liquidity, broke structure, then it rejected from this supply zone here, then it continued breaking structure, continuing. Now I would like maybe to see if there's probably a reversal to the upside. What's the Monday's low? So this was Monday's low. So price took here, this is Monday's low. Price kind of took liquidity from here, went up a little bit, but it continued going down. But we are still respecting the fact that we took Monday's low. So I want to see how price maybe rejects from this area. I want to see if maybe there's a valid opportunity for us to look for continuation. So on the 15. Yeah, no, it's complete. So I would like to see maybe a reversion. I'm not looking for sales, to be honest, by now. So I would like to see how price rejects from this fair value gap. Let's see. Happens. So we understand that price rejected from this fair value gap. We took Monday's low and we broke structure. So we took this low here. This was the break of structure. So it might be possible that price wants to respect this area and go up. But we can see that there's a big gap here, and honestly I don't like that as a scenario. So I'm not buying. I'm looking to see if price is able to reach any of these areas. So let's see. Yeah, so it went up immediately. There was not even an entry for us. So let's see where price goes. So now would like maybe to see if there's a selling opportunity. So let's see around this area, so around the 50 or the 60%. So there's also some gaps here that should be filled, these areas, right? I would like maybe to see how price reacts around these areas. So let's see. So price reached a 50% discount, and this is also a demand zone. It's 9:30, so there's the breakout structure. So based on that, I'm gonna place, let me see real quick, let me erase this. So we are in a 50%, right? Price rejected from here. I'm honestly more biased towards buying opportunities, so I'm gonna wait for price to, yeah, because we can see the whole impulse, and we are respecting the fact that we took Monday's low and we rejected from a fair value gap, right? So understanding that we have been completely bullish, this might be liquidity sitting above these highs. So what I'll do is I'm gonna charge my computer real quick. Okay, so we are back. So like I was saying, I consider maybe this as liquidity sitting above these highs. So understanding that we took, like we broke structure from here, like multiple structures. So this is structure here as well as this is structure here, right? So all of these breakup structures. I would like to see a retracement towards the 60%, right? So around this area, my stop loss here, and I'm gonna target this. This is gonna be a long trade, but confident that it might work out very nicely based on the fact that we respected this fair value gap, but price might want to retrace as well. We have buying and selling opportunities right now, so that's basically it. So let's place my entry and see what happens. See if it gets activated or not. What time is it? So 10:05. So it got activated at 10:25. So remember that I was saying, so let's erase this. This was a possible entry to sell, right? So now let's see if it works or what happens. What time is it right now? 11. We are in the trade. Oh, let's see. Let's move forward. I will still be on the trade. So yeah, I will move my stop loss to break even when price is maybe able to take this high here. It's a very long trade, like I said. But yeah, after this rejection, honestly, I will move my stop loss to break even because at this moment I'm very close to going to bed. So yeah, there you go. So price broke this high here. So now I'm definitely moving my stop loss to break even. And to be honest with you guys, based on the fact that we didn't close above this high with the body and there's some liquidity, price might want to retest our zone. So I'm gonna close my trade. So I'm gonna close my trade in some partials. Now, to be honest, I'm gonna close 100% of the position because we might see some reversions now. So yeah, well, price continue going up, but now it's I was at the night, and honestly at the moment I'm not holding trades at night. So this is just basically respecting my plan that I close before I go to bed. I don't want to sleep like anxious waiting to see what happens. So yeah, let's now move forward to the next day. Yeah, so imagine it was basically a break even. So yeah, so we are in the next day. So Wednesday, January 11th. So I forgot to mention the trade. Last trade was a 1 to 1.47 RR. So a little bit over 1% profit. So almost 1.5% profit. So yeah, let's see what happens today. So we can see that price is still rejecting after taking this high here. So price already reached this fair value gap, right? So price might want to continue going up based on the fact that if we can see there's not too much movement to the downside. Usually when there's a lot of movement, we can see this type of movement. So price rejected from here and we can see this rapid movement to the downside, but this is not happening. So maybe price want to take this high first for then to maybe do a movement to the downside. So let's see what price does in this point, understanding that it's in a discounted zone, right? And it's also a demand zone here, right? But it will be very nice. Let's see how it looks in the 15. Yeah, everything it's mitigated. It will be very nice to see if maybe price is able to take this low here, right? That will be very nice to see. So let's see basically what happens. But for now, there's nothing for me because I honestly don't like the fact that there's no clear break of structure to the downside in this zone. So I might see some movement to the upside taking this high. Let's move forward to see what happens, see if there's maybe a possibility for us. Yeah, so not too much. The session has ended, so now let's move to the next day. Okay, so there's actually not too much of momentum. So we have, this was Tuesday's low, this was Wednesday's high, Wednesday's low, and now it's Thursday. And this was Thursday's, yeah, this was Wednesday's high, this one here, this was Wednesday's low. We're still in a range that price haven't took any of those highs or lows. So to be able to do something about it, I will need to see maybe what high gets manipulated first, because we are ranging right now. So I'm gonna move forward. Okay. Oh, there was news. This is Thursday. This looks like a very important high impact news. But well, we took liquidity from here. Yeah, this basically, it's a news that it's a no trading day. Simple as that. So now let's move to the next day. Okay. So now let's erase this real quick. Okay, so we are now in this day here. So Friday, January 13th, the New York session. So we can see what happened after the news. There was a lot of uncertainty in the market, so price went up, then down with a lot of strength, and then what happened was that price was able to go a little bit higher. This is a very nice scenario at the moment, because we can see, remember what I told you guys, that I was honestly looking for price to take this high before honestly going down, maybe with a lot of strength. And that's basically what happened. So a lot of consolidation, the manipulation, and now we might see some reversals. So understanding that, and the fact that we also took, like we took this high here, right? As well as all these highs here, as well as this high as well. Then we can see that price basically took liquidity from all these highs here. This is a very nice scenario. So it took liquidity from all these highs here. So from basically Thursday's high, and on Friday, then we broke structure to the downside in this area. Oh no, here, break of structure, leaving a fair value gap in this area. So what I'm expecting for my session is for price to reverse to a 60% and sell. Where's the 60%? A little bit higher, but based on the fact that there's a fair value gap in this area, right? You can see this. I'm gonna place my order in the 50% here with my stop loss in this area. And where will be my target? So my target is gonna be below this low. It's a very high win rate, so honestly gonna target a 122. So around this area, understanding that there's a demand zone that hasn't been mitigated, this part, so I'll target a 122, right? So that will be basically the trade. Let's see how it looks in the 5 minutes. Yeah, there's actually, you know what, I'm gonna be a little bit more picky this time, and I'm gonna put my entry in this point with my stop loss around this area. I'm gonna put in the 60%. I'm gonna target a 123 to this area. based on the fact that there's a supply zone in the 5-minute that hasn't been mitigated, this area, and it's basically following order flow. So but it could also reach this. That's very interesting as well. You know what? I'm gonna be secure with the entry, and I'm gonna enter in the 50%. My stop loss around this area, targeting a 1 to 2. Yeah, simple as that. So now let's see what happens. Let's see if actually we have a retracement in our session, or if price is just gonna keep going down without giving any reversals. Well, let's see. Looks like it's gonna continue going down. Yeah, so it continue going down. So now let's see. But there's still a big chance for price to reject from here. Understanding that, let me erase this. I think that this is a supply zone, a broke structure. So, and we have a fair value gap here. And where is the 60%? Here we have. So I'm still honestly biased towards maybe seeing some reversals and then placing my entry. So I'm gonna place my entry in this point here. Still, this will be my first TP, and this will be my last TP. So for a 1, 2, 3, that's basically my new trade idea, since the fact that price went a little bit lower. So let's see if there's actually a trade for us, or if there isn't. Move this a little bit closer there. So yeah, what time is it? So it's 9 a.m. Yo guys, I don't know what happened with my computer. I think literally it crashed, but yeah, we're still here. So this is basically my entry. Let's see if there's actually a retracement towards our zone. Let's see. So what time is it? 9:45. Still valid. What time is it? 10. Price might reverse now because it reached the fair value gap and also the 50%. What time is it? 10:15. 10:30. Okay, so our order has been activated at 10:45, so it's still a valid trade. Let's see. It looks like a losing trade, to be honest. What's going on here? Usually what I do is that I hold through weekends. So yeah, I usually hold through weekends, but because I am able to use my phone like more often and everything. And I'm basically back at when it, so there you go. So it's a stop loss, it's fine. And of course, understanding the fact that I usually don't hold through nights, but in here in backtesting, it was my mistake that I didn't realize that we went to night. So this was basically Friday, then here, and then we went through the night in here, understanding that the market closed at this point. So in the 16 here, it closed at this point. So I should have closed here before it went to Sunday. But yeah, it was a nice trade idea. So it's completely fine. So let's erase this and let's move on to the next session. So see, there you go. So let's see. So daily, we're still going up. We recently took this high here, so we might see some reversals, right? We can see that we are very bullish, right? But this is still in my strategy to understand that we might see some reversals, understanding that we took Friday's high here. So this was Friday's high, right? This was Friday's high. We took Friday's high. Then we broke structure in this area. There's a break of structure. So let me see. This was the first break of structure. Yeah, I would like to see bigger retracement. See, this was the last area, so it's already in a, yeah, we can see some movement now, but we can see that there's fair value gap here as well as a supply zone in this area. So what I'm gonna look is to see if price is able to reverse, reject from some areas around this zone, and then look for some selling opportunities. So I'm gonna move forward to see if price is able to go up. Well, very slow day, nothing basically. Let's move on to the next day. So we can see that price reached the 50% and it rejected when a little bit lower. So what we have for today, I don't know why always with the 4 hour happens the same thing. Okay, so let's move this again to New York time, this here. So we were basically at this point, right? Let's see how daily looks. So we can see that because we're bullish, price basically reached an interesting zone, right? And we took, my computer is crashing, and we took basically yesterday's low. So Monday, this is Tuesday, so this was Monday's low, right? So we took Monday's low here, this area, we took Monday's low, and after taking Monday's low, respecting this demand zone, let's see if there was a break of structure. Yeah, there was kind of a break of structure. Yo guys, I don't know what happened with my computer. It's basically almost to explode, saying overload, something like that, and it's like lagging. But yeah, let's hope we can finish the video. So this was a break of structure here. So after we basically took this yesterday's low, we did that break of structure, leaving this fair value gap in this area. So I would like to see price considering this liquidity, and so this is basically liquidity low and reaching from this area. So I'm gonna put my entry at this point, my stop loss here. Let me see the Fibonacci levels. So actually my entry will be around this area, my stop loss here, targeting somewhere around this. Let's see where to target. So it will be a 1 to 2 to this point, here. So 1 to 2 will be the entry. Oh, let's place the order this point here. So it's 8 a.m. Let's see if price is able to reach our zone. Let's see. So there you go. Let's see what happens. There we have. So final TP for a 2% profit in this trade. Very nice trade. There were no news, so we can see that this whole momentum happened at, let's see, it happened at this 9.5. It happened at 9.10. There's never news at that time, so perfect trade for a 2% profit. So now let's move on to the last day, which is Wednesday 18th. Well, let's erase everything here. Let's move on to the next day. So this is basically the next day here. See how everything looks in the daily. So we can see that basically what we were expecting happened. Price respected this zone and it continued going up. Now price is almost reaching this area, whereas there's basically like a fair value gap in the daily, but haven't yet. And we recently took this high here. So we took liquidity from this high, right? Understanding that this was Sunday's high, right? And where's Tuesday's high? This was Tuesday's high. So So we also took Tuesday's high, right? So now I would maybe like to see if price is able to manipulate this low here, because there's actually no momentum to the downside. So for price to do something like this, to manipulate this high here and then give us a break of structure. Yo guys, I don't know what happens. Basically it says something overload, something like that. I'm not a tech guy, so starts getting lagging. And yeah, so like I said, I would like maybe if price is able to take this high here and maybe then break structure to the downside, looking for some selling opportunities, targeting something around this area, so like a 50 or 60%, so somewhere like this where there are nice zones, and then maybe continue to the upside. So if we go to the 15, we can see there's accumulation, so I would like for price to take this high here. So let's see if that happens. So it's 8 a.m. New York time. Let's see. That happened perfectly. We can see that price wicked. So now I'm looking to see if price is able to break structure to the downside. So break this structure. This is the one I would like to see. So let's wait what happens. This happened on news. Yeah, at 8:30. So 8:40. Let's see. Well, price kind of continue going up. Yeah, it did. So now let's see how in the 4 hour how it looks. We can see that they continue going up, but our bias is still valid in the fact that price could break structure and move down. I hope it's not lagging, to be honest. But yeah, let's see if there's a clear break of structure. So this is actually a break. So it will be like a break of structure here. Let's see if that happens. So yeah, it happened, but it did kind of like a retracement before doing the break of structure. So now I'm waiting this break of structure here. Let's see what happens. What time is it? 10:45. Yeah, so it basically happened. Now I could look for a retracement towards areas such as this one. But it's 10:55 a.m., which means that my session is over. And that's basically the backtesting for today. Now let's see the data and the results for this month of backtesting from December 18th to January 18th. So now that we're back at the dashboard, so we press here, see in analytics. So this is basically the analytics for this month. So we took a total of 7 trades and we had a win rate of 71.43%. That's actually very high. I usually have a win rate of 65% or 60, which having a 71% win rate, it's very nice. And we were able to make for this month a 7.45% profit. So we can see this was basically what happened. So in the 2022, so through December, we did a 5.92%. And on those 18 days on January, we did a 1.44%. Honestly, I usually aim for 2 or 3% per month. So actually making 7%, it's insane. That's an outlier, which basically means that it's very likely that in the next months, there are some losing trades, or like the profitability or the percentage return decreases a little bit. Based on the fact that, like I said, my average is between 2 or 3%, or at least that's what I aim for. So here we have also the advanced analytics. So it's kind of like a summary. So the average RR was 1.79. Actually, we can see here the average win. I usually target between 1 to 3 to 1 to 2 to 1 to 2.5, or sometimes 101 when I decide to like manually close. So we can see here that having an average win of 1.86%, it's very nice. We had total winners of 5. We had total losers of 2. The average duration was 5 hours and 35 minutes. There were actually some trades that were kind of like swing trades, and the average win streak was 3. So yeah, and we can see that the account age, it was 30 days. The month I said, so from December 18th to January 18th, simple as that. So I basically traded for a month. So it was a monthly analysis. So yeah, that was basically all for this backtesting session. Kind of long. I hope my computer didn't crash at a moment and basically everything lagged. I will see that when I edit this video, but yeah, that was basically the backtesting for this month, and I'll continue doing this the next couple of days to make this kind of like a series on my channel. So yeah, very nice backtesting session today, very good trades, very good analysis, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.